Good morning. Welcome to the midweek edition of your breakfast show, Leadership Television Inside Nigeria. My name is Winifred Bebo, your host on the program. Today is Wednesday, September 18, 2024, and on today's fresh edition, we are looking at same front headline stories on some select national newspapers, including Nigeria's most influential leadership. Leadership's leading story today says no excuses end banditry, terrorism now, General Danjuma. No excuses end banditry, terrorism now, General Danjuma. We are working tirelessly, Defense Chief. Arms Control Center to mop up 6.2 million illegal weapons. Troops arrest notorious gun runners in Plateau. And underneath that leading story, we have FCT Coordinator, National Youth Service Corps, Mrs. Winifred Shopeka, left dancing with the corps members during the closing ceremony of the NYSC Batch B Stream 2 orientation course at the NYSC Permanent Orientation Camp in Kubwa, Abuja, yesterday. Zimbabwe to feed hungry citizens with 200 elephants. Malut crash, Tinubu seeks road safety reforms. CBN issues new guidelines on ways and means. NEDC donates 3 billion naira to Borno flood victims. That is the Northeast Development Commission donates 3 billion naira to Borno flood victims. 2.2 million voters to decide next Edo governor on Saturday, this coming Saturday. And on the business boards, we have federal government alerts on Cameroon's plan to open Lagdo Dam. Federal government alerts on Cameroon's plan to open Lagdo Dam. And Apple, the masthead of leadership, agreed can save 109 million children from dying in 2050. Bill Gates. Hardship getting out of control in Nigeria. Abdul Salami, former head of state of Nigeria. Hardship getting out of control in Nigeria. From that, we move to the page 3 where we have our stand. Today's stand is on still on Electoral Offences Commission. Still on Electoral Offences Commission. This is on the backdrop of the Edo Obseco global election coming up this Saturday. From the stand, we move to the back page where we have Wednesday column with Olufunke Barua. Today's column is on primary, alternate, contingency, and emergency. That is PACE. Primary, alternate, contingency, and emergency. This is today's column on Wednesday with Olufunke Barua. With that, we conclude review of headline stories today on leadership newspaper, Nigeria's most influential. For more, log on to www.leadership.ng. From leadership, we move over to the Punch. Punch is on Edo Global Poll coming up this Saturday. And it says governorship poll, 35,000 corps arrive Edo as joint forces begin patrol. 35,000 corps arrive Edo as joint forces begin patrol. Military, NSCDC, EFCC personnel back up police team. INEC tracks ballot boxes movements. And beneath that main headline story, we have a picture of police with displayed ammunition. And the story for it says police parade 2,740 suspected kidnappers, others with 4,087 ammunition rounds. PDP chiefs neck meeting over state congress crisis. Kaduna governor mourns as auto crash death toll hits 40. Kaduna governor mourns as auto crash death toll hits 40. Federal government alerts 11 states as Cameroon plans Lagdo Dam release. Federal government alerts 11 states as Cameroon plans Lagdo Dam release. The story runs on page 30 of the Punch newspaper and is also on page 1, 2 of Leadership newspaper, and it runs on page 6 of that paper. Federal government alerts on Cameroon's plan to open Lagdo Dam. And above, just beside the masthead of the Punch, executive order, Tinubu eyes $2.5 billion investment. And above the masthead of the Punch, 20 governors borrow fresh 446 billion naira as revenues tumble. Three marketers to import 141 million litres petrol. How federal government earned $1.29 billion from telecom licenses. That is coming from Obasanjo, under whose tenure the telecom business came into being. How federal government earned $1.29 billion from telecom licenses. Obasanjo. That concludes the review of front headline stories today on the Punch newspaper. For more, log on to www.punchng.com. From the Punch, we move over to The Guardian. The Guardian says World Patient Safety Day. Nigeria battles spike in medical errors, negligence in hospitals. World Patient Safety Day. Nigeria battles spike in medical errors, negligence in hospitals. And the riders, after 8 chemo sessions, 25 rounds of radiotherapy, single mastectomy, cancer diagnosis turns out an error patient. Nigeria battles spike in medical errors, negligence in hospitals today as Nigeria joins the rest of the world to mark World Patient Safety Day. The writers for the story says after 8 chemo sessions, 25 rounds of radiotherapy, single mastectomy, cancer diagnosis turns out an error coming from a patient. Diagnostic errors responsible for 16% of patients' harm. Practitioners blame lack of standard infrastructure for quality care. AMLSN president that says we are a dumping ground for quackery, fake, substandard, unvalidated kits and devices. These are kickers to the main headline story today on The Guardian. World Patient Safety Day. Nigeria battle spike in medical errors, negligence in hospitals. Of course, we also have an illustration beneath that. A patient is being attended to by 2 doctors, and the doctor is telling the patient, but I told you to give him 2 micrograms of insulin, not milligrams. You better start thinking of a family-friendly way of explaining his death. That is quite unfortunate. Many patients have succumbed to death in the hands of quackery. Beneath that, panic in Abuja over vibrations from multiple earth tremors. INEC tax on credibility as 379,245 PVCs uncollected in Edo. Court rejects Lagos AG's move to stop 1.35 billion naira fraud case. Nigeria on flood alert as Cameroon's Lagdo Dam releases water. Federal government to onboard 115 government colleges. Clark lost Dangote urges support for local refining. Lagos State government seeks accountability, says misdiagnosis cost patients 40% more. FROSC Act, the illegality of being accuser, prosecutor, and judge. That is a news analysis on page 4 of The Guardian. Minister warns of 300 million youth unemployment in Africa. Minister warns of 300 million youth unemployment in Africa. Scientists confirm new fast-spreading COVID variants. That concludes review of front headline stories on The Guardian. For more, log on to www.guardian.ng. From The Guardian, we move over to the next paper on our menu today, and that is Vanguard. Vanguard says NNPCL/Dangote fresh dispute emerges over supply volume. NNPC hints of undersupply from Dangote. We have delivered 111 million litres. Dangote. Excess supply looms as NNPC imports 135 million litres. While oil marketers cannot import lift from Dangote, NNPCL. Federal government should provide welfare packages, CCPE, coming from CCPE. And underneath that, we have the picture of the Labour Party presidential candidates for 2023 elections. The presidential flag bearer, former governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi, and his vice, Dati, when they paid a visit to the governor of Borno State in view of the Alau Dam collapse in the state. Underneath that, fraud, foreigners giving Nigeria bad name, federal government insists. Fraud, foreigners giving Nigeria bad name, federal government insists. Flood, Lagdo Dam begins release of water, NIHSEA warns. Lagdo Dam begins release of water, NIHSA warns. And in sports, AFCON 2025 quarterfinals, Libya fire coach ahead Super Eagles clash. That takes us to the stories about the masthead of Vanguard. Fuel subsidy remover, others can pose risk to external reserves. Coming from CBN. Abdul Salami to federal government, situation is bad, listen to Nigerians' cries. Insecurity, you can end banditry now, TY Danjuma tax service chiefs. Edo Guba, PDP, APC, Labour Party in last minute rush for vote. With that, we conclude review of front headline stories on Vanguard. For more, log on to www.vanguardngr.com. From Vanguard, we move over to the last paper on our menu, and that is Daily Sun. Daily Sun story says main headline story says PDP, Bala Mohammed Deswike tells FCT minister have enough water to quench your fire. We also see the same story of the presidential flag bearers for Labour Party in 2023 election in their visit to the governor of Borno State over the Aliu Dam collapse. Underneath that, no excuses, end banditry, Danjuma charges military chiefs. Sokoto Governor Bafarawa donates 1 billion naira to states. Clark Hayes Dangote refinery calls for continued government support. Flood, Northeast Commission announces 3 billion naira for SMEs. And on top of the masthead, just beneath the masthead, we have hardship in Nigeria getting out of control. Abdul Salami tells federal government, kicks against distribution of palliatives, asks government to listen to cries of masses. And just this last story beside the masthead says Nigeria unveils reforms to enhance energy security, attract investment. And with that, we conclude front headline stories review of Daily Sun. For more, log on to www.thesun.ng. So with that also, we come to the end of today's midweek edition of Inside Nigeria, reaching on Leadership Television. My name is William Freddy-Gwebo. Don't forget to join us for news on the hour on this station. Stay tuned.
For watching, for sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio.